Hey everybody, we're here on Nerd Wars Demonetized. I'm here with the crew, the party line, and I'm taping some bits here for members only, or some of them may go to the main channel depending on how they went, but I just like to be proactive and record stuff. But I keep getting this question. And I want to answer the question, or I just sort of tweeted about it, but I thought I'd do it with my fans here and sort of address it. But somebody asked me, donated, thank you for the donation. Did I hear that Dan Murrell is starting his own YouTube channel and Patreon? Yes, I heard it from about 1 million people who all tweeted at me as soon as it happened. Here's my thought. I'm very happy for Dan Murrell. I think it's a brilliant move for Dan Murrell. I've said it myself. I'm sure he's not listening. I'm sure he thought of it on his own. But yeah, he's very talented. That's why I was such a fan of him and worked so well with him. He has a brilliant film mind. I think he will make some amazing things on the channel. I can't wait to see what he does and what he comes up with. And I know the fans are going to support him wholeheartedly because they love him. He's a good debater. He's a good editor. His film montage debate of last year made me cry. I thought it was fantastic. Look, a lot of people think I have this beef and I'm mad with Dan Murrell. I'm hurt. It's a personal thing, and I'm trying to struggle with how to get through that, and I don't think he and I are going to be able to figure that out, sadly. I just want to be transparent with you guys. There's a lot more to it that I really don't want to get into the weeds of that because it's not really anybody's business. At the same time, it frustrates me because I don't think what happened was fair, and I think there's more to the story, and I would have much rather sort of settled everything privately, but it's not going to happen. But I want to be clear. I think he's great at what he does. I support his venture. I think it's a brilliant move to leave ScreenJunkies. I'm sure he'll still be popping in. He'd be stupid not to go promote his channel and promote as often as he can. And it sounds like from the thing that someone sent me, I did watch his little speech about it. It sounds like they tried to pay him to stay. And the big question to me is what happens next to ScreenJunkies?
Yeah.
That's the bigger question to me. And I bet you that was a toll on Dan because Dan's a loyal guy. You wouldn't think it. Some of you say, but he is. I'm sure that was part of the problem of well, crap, will this hurt it? Because it will. Spencer's their last real big star there to sort of write those trailers. And I don't know. I've always said it too. I wish Spencer would go get a better writing gig and really do what he's worth because he's really talented, really funny, and he can do amazingly funny things. So look, it's interesting. It's sad to see sort of it start to end, and it'll be sad to sort of see people I don't even know who they are writing honest trailers because they'll beat that show into the ground. So we'll see what happens, but my thoughts are that I wish him well. I would love to. I'm sad I can't support it publicly and have a good job, good luck type of thing with him. It's sad I can't. I don't know why we can't. It's really what's frustrating about it all. That's the biggest frustration out of everything. Of just yes, there's some personal stuff that I've revealed a little bit about just because I want people to stop asking me what's the real issue? What's the real issue? There's some emotional, personal stuff that sort of I find hypocritical that I find hypocritical, and that he doesn't. The reality is he doesn't.
That's what we should take.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time we have a nerd war, we take the hypocritic oath. We all acknowledge that we are hypocrites, and we all
Everyone, cheers to that.
but
anyway, I find some things that happened hypocritical. He doesn't, and I don't know what to say about the issue. It may come up again. I'm going to defend myself if I need to, but that is my stance. But yeah, go ahead, guys. Anybody have a thought or question?
I want to Chris first. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Do you think that this whole current situation that we are in kind of helped his decision at all? This quarantine situation.
No, I bet you. If any, I don't. Again, speculation. What do I know? And I'm sure that they hate that I'm sure they hate. They will hate that I'm even speculating on this because they just don't want me to talk about them ever. But I'm gonna do it because I made the channel. They keep wanting to say I'm not involved, but I had more time with Dan than some of them did. So yeah, no, I think this was probably not the way it was gonna go down. And judging by his video, and I believe him. There was a whole plan and stuff to do, but now the quarantine sort of didn't make it. But he probably has a contract that's about to expire, is what I'm guessing, and that he doesn't want to renew it. And he wants to. Dan's a smart guy. He preps. He's probably been planning some videos that are already edited. He's probably got some shows he's already doing, and so he wants to drop them and start making the money and using ScreenJunkies to sort of be the launching pad. And honestly, if I were him, I wouldn't wait any longer either. Even though who knows how long this quarantine is going to last? Get it out there. Do your stuff. Get it out. Start doing it. People will go to him. Everyone thinks I had it out for him. Even he, I think, thinks I had it out for him. I had his back the entire time. So many people there wanted to get rid of him. Take him off the camera. He's not good. The people who were there throwing money at him, telling him to stay now and wishing he wouldn't leave were the same ones who were like, he's not good on camera. Come on, we can find somebody better. no one will believe me. He doesn't believe me, but I had his back the entire freaking time because, guys, I knew he was the voice of the audience. He was smarter than me. He was a better critic than me. Of course, I'm not a good talent. I put myself and all of us there. I put us all on camera because I knew if I didn't, no one would care about us because they would just watch Honest Trailers. And I knew if we didn't do that, we wouldn't be anywhere. So I made that choice. But anyway, and then we brought in Hal because we're like, well, we need someone funnier than us. Then we brought in Hal, but then we realized, well, no, we need to be there too because now they all think Hal made Honest Trailers, and we need to get some of that so we can get other jobs and careers. But go ahead, Maggie, what were you going to say?
No, just a couple things. I think you were saying that you don't want to bring up like stuff, but there is some stuff that's already out there that we've talked about in the videos like recently. And there was a moment at the end of a stream where you just said, we're done. Like, Dan, we're done, I know. And I think that people could take that out of context. But if you watch like the full stream, if you listen to the context of what Andy is saying, he's saying we're done. And there is sadness in his voice. It's more of an acknowledgement than a statement, an acknowledgement that something is done and over. And it is the end of an era. Even after Andy left ScreenJunkies, there was still the possibility for open channels with multiple people. And Dan made a public choice to block Andy. That is something that anyone could have seen and everyone did. And that's not only hurtful on a professional level, but of course on a personal level. I did see some comments of people who were saying, well, you're coworkers, not friends. Why would this bother you? And well, there's several reasons. One, I would argue you don't know how close Andy and Dan were. And if you were someone like me who saw them together, yes, they were friends. But even if you do have a close coworker or someone who you went to bat for, someone who you're in the trenches with, someone who you've built something with, that is a bond, whether we choose to acknowledge it or not. A professional bond can be just as important as a interpersonal one or a romantic one sometimes, because you're still making something with one another either way. And as for moving forward and what kind of channel Dan is probably going to go into, Andy, I'm going to push back a little bit on you saying like you're not a talent. I very much disagree. I think that Andy, we can all agree, was the heart and soul of ScreenJunkies, and when he left, it wasn't the same, and it was far less enjoyable to watch. Dan was the brain of ScreenJunkies, the one who was on the Dan cam, who brought something extra of his own. And moving forward, as both of you are forming your own channels, I think this can be nothing but a good thing, because you are such different creators that it really doesn't create a possibility of a beef. Andy's talents lie in producing and bringing out talent and creating and cultivating communities and helping people make their best arguments and make their best creations. That's where your talent lies. Dan's much more in the reviewing, analytical side. There are people who criticized him before for being rude or off-putting because, as you say, he is more introverted. He's not that great on camera. So I could definitely see him.
I never said he was great on camera. Just for but yeah, you and others have said that. But people have said that about me too. But yeah, go ahead.
I was just repeating the story, essentially.
Others, yeah, but just so I'm clear, I never thought he was bad on camera. I just think, yeah, but go ahead. I didn't say that. Others above me said that.
The same personality coming off on camera as other like people.
Yeah, but look, I'm not even trying to. Some would argue I didn't either, right? Some would say I was abrasive. Look, yes.
They didn't watch drunk movie fights then. If you're gonna watch Andy drink Mike's Hard Lemonade and not smile, you're dead inside. But,
thank you.
So that's just what I would say. And I'll go a step further. I'll say that I think you can both be successful in different arenas, and it can be nothing but good for the both of you. And yes. I'll also say Roth deserves better. When we're talking about the talent that's still at ScreenJunkies, like you have good writers, good producers. Roth is an amazing writer, and I think that she is gonna go down with that ship. And that makes me a little bit upset, if I'm being fully honest.
Yeah, no, I see that. I'd support Roth. I think she's great. I wish, again, I support mostly all of them. I support most of all of them. Yeah, no, I mean, like, you're going to see a lot more Joe, and that's either a good or bad thing. I don't think Joe was the biggest talent. Joe was very smart at getting in there and connecting to the community and getting ingrained in the community. He did it like day one. And it was a move he made that was very smart. And because he played so close to that community, he was sort of untouchable in a way because it was like, oh, all the fans love him. And I respect him for that move. It was very smart. But I never saw it take off above, beyond just sort of the really tight community. And so I think he's going to have a tough time. And I think Spencer, though, I don't know. Spencer, I hope will make a big move and try to find some other gig. It's hard right now in the community where we're at, and it's a pretty easy paycheck. And I'm sure they're going to throw more money at him to try and make sure. Once he leaves, man, that Honest Trailers is going to take a huge hit. Him and John Bailey now are most important in that. And you know, there's some other people there, Kevin and Randy, editors. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because I think Lon and Danielle are now writing trailers too, I see.
Yeah.
And look, no disrespect to them. I had no issues with each of them. But, you know, look, Honest Trailers isn't that hard to write. It is a template. It is a thing. We've made enough now to sort of go there. But I've seen a couple since. I don't know. It feels like the whole format is getting a little tired. So they'll beat that to the ground, though. Fandom, clearly, it will try to do that forever. Look, long story short, that's what I think. I support. It makes me sad that sort of fandom is now going to really take over, and ScreenJunkies will definitely sort of die. Dan will create his own brand, and good for him. He'll own it, and he should. He should have done it years ago when ScreenJunkies was even more popular. I wish we all had done it, to be perfectly honest.
Honestly, I think Honest Trailers should have had its finale with the amazing Deadpool Honest Trailer.
Yeah, it'll never
Like,
top
that
that one.
That could have been the send off, and then you just never, because it was so amazing. And I remember what that felt like as a fan, watching that for the first time and just having that moment of, wait, is this really happening right now?
Well, and I was so frustrated because I did watch it when they brought him back for Deadpool 2, and it was such a safe one. They did like the roast of ScreenJunkies Honest Trailers, and I'm sorry, at the time when they did it all, to not even take a shot at me was just cowardly and stupid. Like, how do you not make fun of everything that's going on? Like, and they didn't, and then sort of it went to sort of generic stuff that just felt safe and out of touch, and it was a bummer to see. It just could have been better. I would have brought Ryan back for like Endgame or something else. I would have thought something outside the box, and I wouldn't have done Deadpool 2, and I would have seen if he could got us somebody else. Like you had to be more creative, and that's the problem. Not to toot my own horn, but I getting Ryan Reynolds was something I was able to push and get for. Getting Michael Bolton, trying to like do weird, crazy things and figuring out how to do it was always what I was always pushing us to do to really get those boundary pushing things.
Like you said, that's your talent. Your talent is as a producer, and even the people who were saying things like, well, he can be a bully, you're like, exactly, because he's pushing what he thinks is the right idea. He's not necessarily going to sit down and listen to every single thing that everyone puts forward. If he can sense that it's not moving the channel or the video in the right direction that it needs to go to get the most views, then that's not where it's going to go. And that's a hard role to play. That's a good talent to have, and that's a hard role to play. And it can be off-putting for some people. But just like we were saying, like,
it
someone
wasn't
like Dan,
but I was
much more logically minded, can be off-putting. But we need a Dan.
What's
You need
frustrating.
A Dan in the team, you need an Andy.
Yes, everything you're saying is spot on. But what's frustrating is like it wasn't actually as off-putting as they want to say it is now. It's only off-putting now, given what it's sort of a good excuse to make it off-putting. There's a lot of like it's like certain girls I flirted with had no problem I was flirting with them until then. You know what I mean? Like so it's like
right.
And then the other thing that's people have said, and I'll say it again, like. Some people were mad I was flirting with them, but then clearly wouldn't have been mad if Dan was flirting with them or Spencer or even Hal. It's like if I was Brad Pitt, I bet you a lot of the fans wouldn't have been mad I was flirting with them too. Like, so the whole dynamics of what happened and what was going down, it's complicated. Look, I've taken responsibility for my faults. I'm done apologizing about it. I've done it a million times.
Right.
It's complicated, and I think they all want to just keep blasting me on sort of like you said, difficult, abusive, all the stuff that's like.
You would have been a hit in the gay community because you're a full-blown.
Oh, I got it.
Like
there were Julian.
okay.
There was a fan, Julian. I don't know if he doesn't follow me anymore, but I lost him. But yeah, Julian was me and Nick Monday. He kept trying to get a bear thing going. But yeah,
unbearable.
It was no. I got no whatever. I'm just not into it. But hey, to each their own. But anyway, we're gonna keep going here on Twitch. Follow me here at twitch.tv/PopcornPlanet. We post a lot more of these topics, but I thought this was clearly a hot button topic that I want to make sure just you heard my takes and just hear my support of Dan. Yes, I have a beef in a way, like an emotional beef that, clearly I was hurt. It's over. As I say it again, it's clearly over. He doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't even want me to do these videos, but I'm sorry. He's a public figure. People keep asking me. I'm going to address about it when it is because I don't want to hide or I don't want to be in a thing where I can't talk about something. Do you know what I mean? Like, That's not going to be me. So if I'm prodded and I'm asked, I'm going to respond. I'm going to put it out there because I've been asked a lot on this topic. So that's why this video is here. But I want to make sure I just address it. I wish him the best. I look forward to seeing what he does. I'm sad I can't be a part of it. I do hope someday there's some sort of attempt or olive branch to say, you know what? we've both moved on. Let's try and have that conversation finally.
If
My
someone
door is
can
always open,
please-
Dan, but I will end trying to communicate and sort of solve that problem. But anyway, we'll talk more here on twitch.tv/PopcornedPlanet. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. See you there. Make sure to subscribe. All that other stuff. Bye.